bum, 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 banana. What's up? What's going on, everybody? It's been another great week of my Hexagon life. My Hexagon life. I was just at the coffee shop putting down a bunch of designs for some cards that I can make going forward. Because I'm always designing, I'm always trying to figure out what it is that speaks to people. I'm always trying to give people more freedom. I don't understand why it is that people put chains on themselves, but it probably has to do something with other people's lies. Other people want to take control of you and use you, and that's why they are set and satisfied in their ways. And I cannot help but tell you of better ways to live and things that I find that I want to share with people. And that in this house is the Hex token. Here is the Hex logo. Hex was created by this guy. And it is a way that you can stake and earn passive income, basically. You just have to put something up at first. Whatever you buy the tokens for is up to the market, and whatever you sell those tokens for is up to the market, but it is up to the contract to create new tokens based on the time period that you've waited. So you have more tokens in the end of your stake. It's all based on your communication with a contract. There's a contract on Ethereum blockchain that you can interact with in order to maximize your returns. And it's freaking amazing. And because we're all caught up in, because we have such dissidence, for some reason, communication dissidence, it's hard to explain to the general public, this is crypto, this is the best way to crypto, and crypto is taking your bank account under your control. Take back the control of your finances and do what you want with it. Here we are at the beginning of this revolution, if you will. Some people, like my mother, for some reason, don't like the word revolution. I don't know why. Maybe she's just worried about this fighting age male that's really stern about his beliefs. I spent my whole day inside of Twitter Spaces just listening to the rest of the world, people who are awesome enough to allow their voice and their thoughts to be heard and judged, right? Like a lot of people hate being judged. And all the little ideas that kill you, like with paper cuts, right? Tons of ideas of how you did something wrong or you spoke wrong or whatever. Like even I am going to watch this or listen to this later on to see how well I directed my speech. But hey, everybody, this Hex token thing is for real. We're going on 3.5 years. It has been flawless. It was created to not have its own blockchain, and instead it sits on the Ethereum blockchain, and it's a certificate of deposit, which means you put down value for a time period, and if you stay honest to that time period, then you're paid back royally. And if you're not honest to that time period, you can cancel. That's what makes Hex not a scam, is because you can cancel at any time. The issue is that you're going to face larger penalties if you cancel early and smaller penalties if you cancel late. Possibly since the last time I had this going on, I ended a very large stake. And whenever you do that sort of thing, your whole week revolves around that, just to make sure that everything's okay and that you're putting all of your eggs in the right baskets, right? So, one of the reasons why this is so stressful, however, it's a wonderful thing to get done. I mean, moving money around, right? Because you have the option of cashing out these finances and them all come to you at the same time, and that's concerning, right? Have you ever had a large sale of property to where you've got a tons of money that's going to be brought? There's two birds on the windowsill over there. That's kind of weird. I don't know why they're looking in here. They're looking at themselves in the window, I suppose. When you have a lot of money being moved around, you might get a little bit nervous, right? Like an entire sale of a house or something like that hits your bank account, and now you're like, okay, well, I was so concerned with it hitting my bank account. Now what do I do? Okay, distribute or disperse, whatever. So each time you move around these $50,000 or $100,000 in one move, that's pretty stressful, right? Well, imagine if it was that you didn't have a bank overseeing that, and instead you had complete control over the code, the digital finance. Well, you want to make sure that you're not making any mistakes. So I'm very, very thankful for the increase of software technology that allows us to verify and check, yes, this is an address that you're about to send it to. You're not about to send it into the darkness of code. This is a recognizable address. You are confirmed. If you haven't worked in blockchain, you don't exactly know what I'm talking about. But as we continue to have more and more people coming into crypto, or crypto becoming more and more of the financial atmosphere, then tools are being developed to help you better navigate and have a better peace of mind and better understanding of what it is that you're doing. So the interaction has definitely gotten better in the 3.5 years that I've been inside Hex. Like tools in order to view and use Hex, but also before then as well, what I was witnessing as well, with other things like BTC, which is Bitcoin's ticker, and ETH, which is Ethereum's ticker. But I wanted to go back before I started talking about like large sums of money. Oh, okay. So I wanted to tell people that if it is that you come across a lot of Hex, it would be wise to split it up into different wallets, and it would be wise to create a staking ladder. And so the reason why you would want to split it up into multiple different wallets is for your security, to diversify your security, so that if one of your wallets is for some reason hacked, like maybe somebody stole some things of your possessions or something, and they were able to decode, or simply there it is written on a piece of paper and they know what to do with it, right? So there's that sort of diversity, that angle that I was talking about. But also what I want to tell possible newbies who are watching this, like newbies to crypto, newbies to Hex, definitely, right? Because that's who my audience is right now. The staking ladder, what you're able to do with Hex is you're able to stake out for a maximum of 15.2 years. And I say 15.2 years because the amount of days that is 5,555 days. So we have this culture inside of the hex token that's 5555. That's the maximum amount of days that the token, the contract will allow you to stake within it, within the contract. So you have hex tokens that you've acquired from somewhere. You've been gifted them. You've bought them on a marketplace, or you've bought them in a wallet that allows you to buy through them. And so you have these hex tokens, and you could go to hex.pink, by the way. It's a great website in order to just recognize what sort of return you could get on staking your hex. Hex.pink, again, is the website, hex.pink. But what we do in the hex community is we stake out our hex for lengths of time. And so, like, say I stake for 6 months, and I stake for a year, and I stake another one for a year and a half, and another one for 2 years, and another one for 2.5 years, and another one for 3 years. And so, like, maybe I evenly divide those up, or maybe I make it to where the closer ones are larger stakes and the further ones are smaller, because I'm depending on time and price appreciation, like the increase in the token's price over the course of time in the future, so that maybe it is that I'll have more tokens coming back to me sooner, but those tokens are of a lesser value because less time to have the price appreciate per token, per unit, right? And so I'm earning tokens on all of these time deposits. I'm earning tokens. So more tokens are going to be thrown in with the amount that I've staked out. And I can only retrieve those once it is that I get to that point, or I get close to that point. So there's this function. It's called unstake function. And that's what you can do early or late. It's all up to you. It's all up to what you need to do in your life and how the contract is going to judge you. So there's just one contract, just one little contract address that all these people inside the Hex community are participating with. So they all know that they can go to this website called that has the address of go.hex.com. So hex.com is the typical website for the product, the Hex token product. But go.hex.com is an interface for you to be able to make these stakes and see existing stakes that have been activated. So we have to get just a little bit further into the technicalities, there is a day start and stop, the same time. So we just come around to the same position in every day. And so we what do we call that? The day turnover, I guess. And I believe it just turned over 20 minutes ago. And so that's the way that we keep track of our days. Like I said, you could stake for 5,555 days maximum. So if I staked right now, I would have to have my Ethereum wallet with Hex tokens in it, and I would go to the contract and I would say, hey, Hex contract, say I want to stake for the spring of 10 years from now. So I'm in the spring and I want to go 10 years. So 10 years in the amount of days is 3,650 days, right? Just about. So however many tokens I want to do for that amount of days, and then I go say run this function. So I have to pay the Ethereum fee to run the function to stake it. And once I do that, and it's recognized with the contract on the Ethereum blockchain, then I am sitting there waiting for 20, like for the situation, if I was to do it right now, it would be me waiting, what is that, 23 hours and 39 minutes in order for that day to tick over and that stake to activate. And then from then on, I'm waiting 10 years. Now, what am I going to get back in return? I'm always going to be able to watch my stake grow with Hex tokens based on that yield because of the time deposit, right? And then it's going to grow in Hex tokens. So I'll continue to see this amount of Hex tokens grow. And then based on the market's price of a Hex token, I can assume the price, the current price of it, price per unit times however many I have, right? But only whenever it is that I actually sell the thing will it be worth that amount, right? So it all comes down to market values in the end. And so say I wait out that entire 10-year time period, then I have to report in 10 years. I have to pay attention to this myself. There are some tools to set a timer, but whatever the case, let's ignore those right now. Some tools that are like community-made tools, but let's ignore those right now. So one-to-one communicating with the contract, it's 10 years from now. So I go to that contract, and the day ticked over, and now my in-stake is available to make, and I'm facing no penalties because I've waited the full amount of time. So the in-stake button then populates for me. And I say, yes, I want to run in-stake. So it says, the contract says, okay, the Ethereum blockchain needs to do all this math in order to figure out how much Hex tokens you're owed. Reading the code day after day after day, adding all that stuff up, and then boom, it's in your wallet. But you have to pay the Ethereum fee to run that code, that function. Okay, so now you have the principal of Hex tokens plus the interest of Hex tokens that you've gotten. Now that stuff's in your wallet. And that's it. You ran a function 10 years ago in order to start the stake, and you run a function 10 years later now to end the stake. You chose how many tokens you wanted to stake. You chose exactly how many days you wanted to stake. There's a calendar, by the way, on go.hex.com that allows you to plan out the exact day so that you don't get confused. Is this day? Is that day? I believe we're at like day 1240 or 1250 or something like that. I'm saying 1250 days worth of Hex have passed. And so it was, I'm not exactly sure when the code was complete and how long it took to make the code, but it was put on Ethereum and activated on Ethereum back in December of 2019. And I was aware of the project or this product existing, and I did watch it, And so I've been there from the beginning. And because I've been here so long, I kind of like have a good grasp of how crypto markets work. And I have like a seasoned mentality towards it, while it is that I've witnessed a lot of people do not. A lot of people, they're either in crypto for the technology, building things, or the finance. And I'll tell you, I don't know how to read code or produce code, but I do know how to do numbers and understand time and finance and markets. So I would like to do this, but there is so much social stuff happening in crypto that it's hard to get down and learn new skills. But here soon, maybe I'll be some sort of creator or developer or team leader of that sort of thing. That would be really interesting. Um, there's all sorts of ideas out there in crypto. Crypto is new, right? So many people come to crypto with their ideas, and they think they're new ideas, but maybe somebody's already developed it. Somebody's already worked on it. Maybe they've already seen that it's flawed. That you can't make a full rounded product for everyone. Maybe these little bits and pieces are missing. And whenever it is that there are little bits and pieces missing, then the architecture isn't correct, the code architecture. And that can cause problems after launch. Something's launched and it's supposed to be complete, but um, it interacts in a bad way. And so then what do? Is it failed, or do you keep working on it while it's like trying to maintain it? And in that way, it's not a finished product. It continues to need updating. It needs assistance. So is this a sustainable idea? So I hope you understand a little bit about, like, I meant not to involve me, but I did it anyway. All sorts of people have different ideas about what they're doing in their life, about what the meaning of life is, and what the heck they're doing in crypto, you know? So yes, we do see a lot of people with greed. Like absolute greed is all up in their life, and they they talk about greed without admitting it, and they just have mixed reasons on their involvement. So eventually those people flake off. You know, if you're just here for greed, then waiting out a time period doesn't sound very good to you, does it? No. Quick gains and gambling does sound good to you, doesn't it? Yes. And in that case, I've got nothing that your ears can hear. So I think I titled this talk, what did I title it? Cut the Jargon. I think I did so in order to promote hexagons, recognizing that a lot of people in the typical um, society, in your populations around your times, around your city squares, a lot of people, they're stuck in their own life. and they don't know how helping other people could help them. And if it is that they want to help other people, they probably think that they have to do it underneath an organization instead of doing it as an independent. And a lot of people don't understand salesmanship, which truthfully, I don't get it. Because me personally, I'm too emotional of a person. If I'm interacting with somebody, I'm exchanging so much energy with them or giving them so much of my energy. And I'm like a chameleon of emotions. So I'm adopting whatever it is that they're going through. And that's the way that my biological unit works, right? But what I want to point out, guys and gals, is that it's very important to analyze someone's life and what they're going through in order to be able to talk to them about bettering their life. Because when it is that you have something that everybody needs, but they don't recognize they need it, then it's your opportunity. It's your responsibility, if you will, because you're already using your time to do this. Then it is your responsibility, right? So that's the way that I think. So good luck. Good luck out there. And I will be creating marketing tools so that they can assist you in sharing with others the good news of Hex. I'm trying to make YouTube videos. I'm trying to make Twitter Spaces. I was just at the coffee shop designing new business cards, new ways of business cards. So whenever I say business cards, I'm just saying like the size of a business card, Hex advertisement. But Hex is not a business. Hex is not a company. I'm not hiring you to do shit. Instead, it's all up to you. We are in decentralized finance. Save yourself and save your friends and family, whether they're the ones who understand Hex just as well as you, or they're dependent upon you. I don't know. Let's get this good, because I can testify that Hex is an honest, awesome system. Please look into it, and also look into richardhart.com. He's that guy. Cheers, y'all.